Ah, there we go. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the June Hero Studio Release Spotlight. I'm Shannon, and I'll be walking you through all the products that were released for all 6 subscription options. And I will even share a bunch of inspiration from myself, as well as a ton from our incredible creative team. And then we'll get even a little crafty in this live. I'm going to create a card with the Stampin' Cut, I believe, this month. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. We are having some nice weather here in Arizona. It's actually been a little rainy the last couple days, which is very unusual for us. A little humid though, but still cooler than it normally is. And I think we're just going to go ahead and get started. I can see people are here in the chat. Hello, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and change to my, hi Jana, I'm going to go ahead and change to my different camera view. Oops, I forgot to set up my other thing. I'll have to do it with my mouse. I forgot to set up my other thing. There we go. And we'll just get started. I'm going to start with the card kit, and we'll start with the paper included in this. So if you haven't had a chance yet, before I get going, if you haven't had a chance to check out the blog hop, definitely check that out. That just started today. It just began at 10 a.m. Pacific time today. Again, you'll see a lot of inspiration from the creative team as well as special guests. And there's a giveaway. So if you leave a comment while you hop, you get each comment you leave at each hop stop, you get an additional kind of entry into the giveaway, which is a $50 gift certificate to Hero Arts. So definitely check that out. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Brianna. What else was I saying? So definitely check out that blog hop. I will be sharing a lot of cards from the creative team, and I'm very appreciative for them. So if you do feel inspired to purchase anything, please use their affiliate links. That helps them out a ton. But if you have had a chance to check out some of the things from this release, it is a beautiful coastal theme. I really love it. Hello, Sarah. Welcome, welcome. And I think you guys are going to really like it too. Let's start with the paper. There are 10 sheets of color cardstock. Now these are half sheets, so they're typically that's half sheets in the Hero Arts card kits. So they're 5.5 by 8.5. You have 2 of each color, so there's 5 colors. And these are some of these new Spellbinders color wheel. There we go. Sheets. There we go. Let us get it all on camera. You have fawn, coral, blue spruce, waterfall, and seaside. Actually, these are some of my favorites out of all the new colors from Spellbinders. I really love the teals and this sand, or not sand. I keep calling it sand because in my mind it's a sand color. This fawn is a incredible color. I love it so much. So you get all that in your paper, in your card kit. Let's see if I can keep everything kind of on screen. So those are really pretty. They're nice heavyweight cardstocks. They're really nice. Oh, you know what? I need a piece of white cardstock. So you can see this next product. Oops, and I bumped my cameras. Let's move this just a hair. Sorry about that. We'll just leave it like that. That's as close as I'm gonna get. My wheelie chair can bump everything, which is terrible. Sometimes I forget about it. Okay, so this is the stamp set that's included in the June card kit of the month. It's a 6 by 8 stamp set. It is called Summer State of Mind. Mine is very well loved already. So my images are a little tricky to see. I'll show you a card here in just a second that has a fair amount of these images stamped out, but you can see there's a bike, some seashells, like a sand dollar, a, what do you call that? Starfish. There's also a scallop. Then you have some additional beach-like accessories, a beach towel, a bag, hat, sandals. Then there's camera, Polaroids, scarf, some things to put in the bag like the baguette, champagne, wine bottles. You have some hydrangeas. So it's kind of more like a East Coast beach theme. Really, really pretty. Isn't it amazing? Yes, the blog cup is so fun. I'm glad you had a chance to check it out, Jan. It's really good. And there's some sentiments, of course. You have Summer State of Mind. If lost, return to the sea. I think that's so cute. Meet me by the sea. You have Sand and Surf. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I'll just butcher it. But you have Seize the Day, or Seas, like the ocean, like the water. Salt water and sunsets. Girls just want to have fun. So some really great sentiments I think are really fun. And some of them don't have to be beachy themed, because you could take the bike and some of these elements and have a different kind of day out theme as well. So that one's really cute. Of course, there's coordinating dies for the Summer State of Mind set. Dies for everything. So all of the images, all the sentiments. Love it when we have sentiment dies. They're really, really nice. Very cohesive little grouping or theme, I think. And then I'll show you a card with some of these images on it. So I actually have a video for this card up on the Hero Arts YouTube channel. So after this live, if you want to get more info on how I created this card, you can check that out here. Hello, Sandy. Welcome. And I used the beach towel. You can see the hat, some of the sandals. I did some simple watercoloring for this. There's a sentiment that's also from this set. So a really cute little theme. And in the background, you may be noticing, look at that. Isn't that awesome? That is actually our sand embossing powder, which is included in the kit. You get a 1/2 ounce, which is actually a lot when it comes to embossing powder, a fair amount. Not like a full Hero Arts container, but about like half. And this is what it looks like. It's very cool. And you can see it here on the background, but you can also see it here on the swatch. I love this stuff. It's so good. And I'm so happy that you guys are going to get some of it in your kit, because you're going to have so much fun playing with this sand embossing powder. So that's also included in the kit. We'll put that there. And before we move on any further, let's check out some cards created by the creative team that feature the Summer State of Mind stamp set. Let's pop over to my pictures. Let's see. Okay, we're going to start with this beautiful one by Michelle. I love it. Nice and clean and simple. She's so good. Michelle Shore is so good at clean and simple. She also used some of the similar images that I did. She probably did some Copic coloring because she's so good at it. Just kind of grouped them together, placed them in the lower right of her card front, and paired it with one of the sentiments from that set. Really cute. Then we have this beautiful one by Rachel. I love how she built a whole scene, and it's a very simple way to do it, where she just had some, I believe that's Hero Art sand cardstock at the bottom, and then her background is just either ink blended or a panel of colored cardstock, and that's all you need to ground her bike and just create this cute little scene. And I love how she filled that basket on the bike with hydrangeas. That looks so cute. And then what do we have here? This awesome one by Lisa. She also kind of grouped everything together. This one, you can see she used that beach bag. I love the camera and her baguette sticking out. So cute. Nicely framed with a scalloped die cut. Really cute. And let's see. Oh, Rosie, I'm so glad you're here. I'm definitely sharing some of your cards. Actually, I think your card's next. Be safe, my friend, while you drive home. Where we go? Here we go. Okay, nope. Yours is almost next. Next up is Janine's card. Janine is so good at coloring. Like, she's a master at masks. And this is, you can tell right here with this incredible card how good she is. She has all of these images kind of strewn out. Gosh, I'm saying that wrong, but laid out. There we go. That's a word I can say. Over a blanket. And the blanket's actually created with the cling of the month, which we'll get to. So I love how she incorporated that. Her amazing, really realistic Copic coloring is standing out beautifully on this card. And I just love it. I just want to sit down right here on this blanket. And look, can you see the grass little corners around it. Just so fun. Really, really good. She's amazing. And a unique way to kind of use these images. I think that's kind of different, and I really think it's creative and fun. And here's Rosie's card. Speaking about creative and really fun, she used some of our, oh gosh, Rosie, I forgot what these were called. I don't expect you to type them in because you're driving, be safe. But these are some Polaroid dies. You can see them in the background in the photo from Hero Arts. They are something that we have kind of like our essential die sets. They're one of our infinity die sets. And I think this was so clever to use this with these images from the Summer State of Mind stamp set. I love also how her bike is kind of coming out of the Polaroid picture. And then she has this fun red, white, and blue color scheme, which, you know, screams the 4th of July and summer. It's just so good. And her coloring is beautiful. Love it, love it. And she even has a second card, which you can kind of see in the background. Here it is, where she did kind of the same idea, but took some of the smaller images from the set and created her own little like Polaroid, staged Polaroid pictures. And you can see also the sand embossing powder used in the background of these. And it's just so pretty. And look at how she stamped her sentiment on the Polaroid. That's so cute. Really well done. So creative. Rosie has really amazing ideas for how to use these smaller images that I never think about, and I'm always inspired by how she approaches them. She's very, very clever with her layouts. And in the background on this card, you can see that cling of the month as well. So very versatile cling that we will get to eventually. And we have more. This is the last one. This one is by Michelle. Super pretty. I love her color palette, which she was clearly inspired by the cardstocks that are included in the card kit. You can actually see them cut into strips and created this beautiful diagonal striped detail at the bottom of her card. And then she has her lovely bike here, again, filled with hydrangeas. Super pretty, lovely, clean and simple. And actually that sentiment that you see here, the hey there, you're the best, is from the whole studio bonus item, which we'll get to at the very end, which you're getting like a sneak peek of that. All right, so let me pop back over. Oh, I bet you were, Jana, if you live on the Gulf Coast, I bet you were really excited. Okay, so there's more. So we've done the embossed powder, the paper, the stamp set, and the coordinating die, but there is more. There is another die set included in this, and I think this die set might have been the creative team's favorite because they used it a ton and made so many beautiful cards. I cannot wait to show you what the creative team made with this set. This is the beach bag die set, again, included in the June card kit of the month. It's an awesome, very large die set. It creates a beach bag that is very big and can be the focal point of your card, which I love. And then you have a bunch of images like sunglasses, and they're layered die, so you can actually layer them up to get more color, more interest. You have a champagne bottle with some layers, fun like a tassel, scarf. These are the handles. Well, let's see what else. Did I point at the glasses? Some flowers, and then there's the details, of course, for the bag. But let's kind of, oh, I forgot the baguette too. And I think this little whale is a nice detail as well. So a lot of cute things you can create and fill that bag with. Let's look at some examples. I have this card here that I created. I used just about everything from this die set on this card. You can see the basket has this really pretty open kind of, oh, I guess it's not woven, but sort of woven looking texture. I love it. It's so pretty. You have a detail down here at the bottom. The handles are really cute. There's the baguette. And I've kept this pretty simple. I cut it out of colored cardstock. I mean, I did use a lot of die cuts, but I didn't do any ink blending. This is just colored cardstock, layered up, die cut out and then layered up. And I really love it. I love the way it turned out. It's so fun. Lots of details. Very, very fun to play with. Let me show you what the creative team made because they went above and beyond. Pop back over. So we have, starting off with this beautiful one by Charlene. Now she does have a video for this, I believe, on our Hero Arts website. So you can definitely check that out and see how she put this super cute card together. I love her color palette. And I love the sunglasses kind of hanging out of the bag. I never thought of that. Really cute. And again, you can see that cling of the month in the background. It's such a handy cling. Really, really works well with, I think, all of the images and just the general theme of this month's release. Then we have this super cute card by Jen. I love the teal bag. That's really pretty. This has a soothing, and with her like water spots, actually even looks like there's water in the background. Really fun. Love her champagne bottle and the way her bread looks, even her flowers. I think they might be ink blended a little bit, so they have a lot more interest and texture, and I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, and especially look at her scarf, how she did that one. And then, oops, next is, there we go, is Anna's card here. She created a whole scene. You can see her water, her beach, and then I guess either a tabletop or a blanket, probably a blanket, Shannon. She has a blanket there, so cute. Oh, there's even a little crab, like a little hermit crab in this set, which I didn't show on my card, and you're kind of seeing at least the shell for that crab right there in the lower left of her card. Really pretty. I love the kind of watercolor technique she did for her water. Super cute. She has such a creative approach to the products, and I'm always excited to see what Anna comes up with. And then we have this by our amazing Kelly. Beautiful color palette again. And you can see here she used this sand embossing powder to create the ground for her bag to sit in. I love that. I also love the color she chose, almost opposite of mine for her bag, and I really like it. I really like the dark brown handles. So pretty. And then, and of course, look at her gold flutes, champagne flutes. That's a nice touch. And then we have this one by Mindy. Really, really cute. I'm not mixing Mindy's video and Charlene's video. Mindy and Charlene both create videos for us, and I can't always remember who did what product. But you can see both of them made a card, and this is Mindy's card with the die set, or the beach bag die set. And actually that shell is from, what is that shell from? That's from a different release, I think, but it's super cute. It's not the shell that's in the kit, but the bag and everything else is very, very cute. Sentiment is also from the stamp set included in the kit. And then let's see how many more we have. We have like 3 more to go, because I'm telling you, the create team loved this die set, and I can see why. This one is by Natasha, and I love how she did the bottom. It's very different. She didn't use the texture. I'm not sure how she did that of her bag, when she filled it with baguettes, and they might even be watercolored. They have some interesting texture. But I don't know if you can see in the background of this card, she stamped the hat from the Summer State of Mind stamp set. And I think that looked so great. It's like creating her own pattern paper. Just turned out so good. And I lost my mouse here. And again, she has her sunglasses hanging out of the bag, and I think that's so cute. Where did my mouse go? Okay, well, we'll do it this way then. And then we got another one by Rosie. Look at that. She went with white, and I love it. Her bag actually looks like it's opening up, and it's filled with things, and it's just very, very cute. And again, she kept with the red, white, and blue theme. So she had her tassels red, white, and blue cut out of red, white, and blue cardstock, and I think that's really pretty and fun idea to kind of give everything this 4th of July theme. And then we have this one by, well, my mouse is not working. That's why I can't find it. He's not working. Well, that's not helpful. This one by Sika, and I love how she filled it full of bread. 3 loaves of bread and tons of flowers. Really, really pretty. That is a bag that I would probably have myself, full of bread. And then our last one is this one by Karen. She also did a bag overflowing. I love all the flowers, the two bottles of champagne. Her baguettes have some beautiful ink blending or coloring on them as well. Super cute. And I love how she made them put the little bow on the bag. I thought that bow was for, my approach to that bow, I should say, was for the flowers, but I really like it just as a little accent on the bag. It's super cute. All right, so let's, I'm going to put my mouse away since it doesn't work. And I'm going to have to reach over my table. Which isn't the best, but that's what we got to do when the mouse doesn't work. Okay, so we are not done. We have one more thing. The vellum for the champagne, I didn't even realize that, Jenna. That's true. It's a very good, that's so really fun that the different creators use, like, because Kelly used gold mirrored cardstock. I just used a light blue, and then vellum. What a good idea. That's a fun way to get in some more texture. Okay, so now we're going to move on to, that's everything actually. That's everything in the card kit. So we're going to move on to another subscription option. We're going to move on to the it was Fancy Die. It's now a die set of the month. Let me put these out of the way, or let's put away our card kit. I think this one's going to be a fun one to play with. We'll put that back here. All right, and let's move on to our die set of the month. So our die set of the month is this guy right here. It's called Summer Memories. It's a really cute set that creates this Polaroid camera, and you have all these details, all these dies that will die cut, and you add details to your Polaroid camera base. And then you have even some dies to create your own Polaroid picture. So you have the base here, or the frame, and then you can use these dies. Oh, that's the shell there. That's where her shell came from. I knew Mindy was on top of it. I, on the other hand, was not. The shell that Mindy used on her card for the card kit was this shell here from the die set of the month. And so you can create this. This is actually a sunset scene. Probably makes more sense this way. There's the sun, the water, the beach. And then the shell you can also put in the Polaroid picture as well. But you could fill these Polaroid pictures with maybe images from the Summer State of Mind stamp set. I think that would be really cool too. Let's check out a card that I created with the June die set of the month. You can see that camera all die cut out with all of the details put in place. Really, really cute camera. I think it'd be, well, actually, I was going to say, it's really fun to see it in different colors, and you'll get to see that because the creative team did a ton of different colors for this cute little camera. It is so adorable. And then you can see the Polaroids. You can see those dies like the shell and the kind of sunset ocean scene, all die cut out of colored cardstock and just popped in on top. Really cute set. So let's look at some, oh, I'm gonna have to reach over. Let's look at some cards created by the creative team. We have, starting off with this one by Michelle. She totally took advantage of the fact that you can, create the base of your camera out of anything. And she created it out of her own custom-made striped paper with papers. Most of the papers, I believe, are from the card kit. It's definitely inspired by the card kit color palette. I think that's so cute. I love that striped Polaroid camera. I would want one for myself. It's adorable. And then we have this one by Charlene. She went with pink. Isn't it cute? Very, very pretty. And then we have this one by Kelly. She did teal as well, but more on the lighter colors. Love, love, love how she incorporated that sand embossing powder again on both her Polaroids. It looks so good. And you can see with this Polaroid, that's with the shell, that is actually the water. That sand part there is actually the water, but embossed with the sand. So really, really smart way to incorporate that die cut and give some grounding to that seashell. Very, very cute. And then we have Michelle, who she loves purple, and she made a purple Polaroid camera, and it's also so cute in purple. Love especially the contrast of the purple with her beach scene. And then we have Mindy. Mindy went so soft and pastel, and basically she has a white Polaroid camera, so cute. And I love her shell. It really has lots of contrast and just stands out. And her super soft sunset scene is so pretty as well. So love that soft palette. And I don't know if you guys can see in the background. Here you can see that Cling of the Month stamped again. So it's used all over. And this is our last die of the month sample. This one is by Natasha. She went nice, bold, and bright. Also, I love her purple sky. That's really pretty. And again, you can see the Cling in the background, and really, really fun camera and little card she created there. So let's put that away. There we go. So that is the June die set of the month. Now we're going to move on to, let's see, the Stamp and Cut of the month. Okay, so this one might be my favorite. I think it's so fun. I love two-step stamps. There's just so much creative possibilities, so many techniques you can combine with them. And this one for June is called it's just called Seashells, actually. Two-step, if you're not familiar, it just means that typically means you'll have a base stamp and then a detail stamp that you'll stamp on top. You can use it like that all the time. So every time you use it, you could stamp the base and then stamp the detail on top in a darker shade. You could do it in heat embossing on top. That would be really cool too. You could just do it in black, keep it really simple, but be very striking and stunning. Or you can just use the detail or the base all on its own. You don't have to always combine them. These could look really great for drop shadows. These could also work for just some interest in the background. Of course, the details look amazing, kind of stamped on their own, especially if you combine them with the dies. And of course, this is the Stamp and Cut. So that means if you are signed up for the subscription, you'll get this stamp set and the coordinating die. So the coordinating die will die cut out all the shells and even the sentiments. Oop, noisy. I don't know if you guys hear that. Somebody's driving by with a really noisy car. But there's 3 sentiments and you have coordinating dies. Always love when we have coordinating dies for our sentiments. So really, really pretty. And I'm going to pop over to the creative team for samples because they have some awesome ones. And I believe we have Kelly starting it off. No, Charlene starting off. And I'm pretty certain Charlene has a video for this one on our Hero Arts YouTube channel. I love how she created a whole background and all of her shells are popped up. So you have that beautiful shadow. And it's just a really cute, colorful, fun card. So pretty. You can see how beautiful those shells look when you do the 2 steps. So she stamped the base in like a light ink and then stamped the detail in a darker ink, but a coordinating color. Really, really beautiful card. Then we have this one by Kelly, who did something very similar. She, however, did not die cut her shells out. She just stamped them in the background and then so basically created her own like pattern paper. And then she cut out that arched window and then use that to kind of as a kind of way to create her focal point. And she filled it in with that space with a wow, I forget what it's called every time, starfish and a sentiment from the set. So really very cute and creative kind of card layout. And again, I love the way these shells look. They're just so wonderful. And this is another example of that she stamped the base first in a lighter color, then stamped the detail in a darker color, darker ink, but of the same kind of color family. And then we'll move on to this one by Kelly. So here she took a different approach. You can start to see like the techniques coming in here with these samples. This one she stamped and heat embossed just the detail stamps and then die cut them out, and then ink blended over them to add the color. So they have a soft, a little bit more textured look to them. Really, really pretty. Love how she did that. And I think we have another one similar. This one is by Anna. And again, she does such creative things. She also stamped and heat embossed only the detail layer for those stamps and created this really fun, very textured background. These look like fossils to me. They're so cool. I'm gonna pop over to the comments, just make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, good, you're home safe. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, it's funny how that happens, right? That there's lots of sea, that everybody kind of latches somehow, like something in the water. Ooh, I bet they did, Pamela. We don't see really what, like, we don't see, they keep the creative teams or the creative, the designers of the products are two separate groups. Our Hero Arts designers are a completely separate group, and it's most of the same designers, actually all of the same designers really, are still part of our design team. So it's the same designers that were with Hero Arts before. They're still with Hero Arts, and they are separate from the Spellbinders, completely separate. I mean, like, live in different states, so completely separate. And they have no idea what each other is working on. And sometimes that can be a problem, because they'll have to change a design if the people who do get to see both designs from both companies, if they think it's too similar. But yeah, they try for the most part to not butt in, except for when I feel like it's too close. Is the sand on Becky asks, is the sand on Kelly's second card cut with a Hero Arts die? The background, let me pull that back up, Becky, to make sure we're talking from the same thing. I think you're talking about that beautiful tan panel. No, it's not a Hero Arts die. Well, my guess is she may have cut it originally with a Hero Arts die, but she could also have trimmed it with a paper trimmer. But she has some kind of tool. I believe it's like a Tim Holtz tool that you can use to kind of rip and distress the edge. I don't actually own this tool, so I don't know what it's called, but I've seen people use it before, and I believe that's what Kelly did, but I don't know for sure. When any of you guys are in the comments are familiar with that tool, do you mind popping it in for Becky and letting her know? Because I know some of you probably have it, or you have seen it and used it yourselves. Pop that over. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Pamela. So yes, Pamela knows the name of it. Thank you. I don't think they are just alike at all. Oh, okay. Let's see. Deckle. Thank you. Deckle. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's like a trimmer, right? Okay. And then I've seen a tool that like rips too. So there's a couple out there on the market, but I think the Deckle is like a setting, I guess you'd say, on the Tim Holtz trimmer. Autocorrect. Okay. I know it gets me every time. In fact, I'm notorious in my family for that. All right, let's move on to Rosie's. Rosie, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I am guessing what you did, but this is, if I have it right, I believe Rosie stamped these and heat embossed the detail layer only in gold embossing powder, die cut them out, and then watercolored over them. So she didn't even stamp the base layer, just like Anna and Kelly did earlier, like kind of like what Kelly did, except for she watercolored as opposed to ink blending like Kelly did. And I love the look of it. All the color that she gets and the kind of soft transitions because she did watercoloring. So good. Beautiful. Let's see if she responded. Didn't stamp the base layer. Yes. Okay, awesome. It's so good, Rosie. I love it. Such a creative approach and probably pretty easy to do and absolutely stunning. Stunning result. It looks like, high art. Looks real good. I don't know how to say. It looks really good. Looks definitely harder than I think it might be, but it looks beautiful. And look at her arrangement too. So I'm so distracted by how her approach to coloring these, but look at how she laid them out. She basically created a image with them. She created a heart image with that. And that's one of the things I love to do with smaller images is kind of group them together to create a larger image, usually something that's a simple shape like a heart or a star. And it looks so good. And then she has a second one. There we go. Really, really pretty. And here she went for an actual shaped card, a heart-shaped card. Love it. And then do you see the gold heat embossing that she has on the edges? So pretty. And her pearls, just so cute. Oh my gosh, pearls. I forgot about pearls. Like you could use the liquid pearls, the Hero Arts liquid pearls with that set. Rosie used the gold, which is so, so pretty, but it looks like a 4-year-old t-shirt. It's called a Tim Holtz Distresser Tool. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's the one I was thinking of. I don't know which one Kelly has because she doesn't do videos, though she should because she's so good and has so many techniques and things. But yeah, something like that. I need to get me one of those tools. One of my preschools, oh, they had a t-shirt like that. Oh, isn't that funny where you get your inspiration sometime? That's a stroke of genius, though, to see that shirt and then realize you could do something like that with stamps. Brilliant. Brilliant, Rosie. So good. All right. Well, that is that Stampin' Cut. You can see why I like it so much. You see, like, are you guys getting inspired? Because I'm getting inspired looking at everybody's cards and the creative ways they used it. These two-step stamps. There's so many things. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something coming up in the future, a fun reel coming up. I know Rhea is going to create a video, really quick video, about using these stamps with ombre ink pads, because solid stamps and ombre ink pads, match made in heaven. So good. Okay, and now we're going to move right along to a stamp that's been popping up left and right in all of our creative team samples or creative team projects. That is the June Cling of the Month, which is Coastal Stripe. It's an awesome 6x6 red rubber cling that creates these beautiful stripes. And I actually have it stamped out here so I can show you what it looks like. Here it is, stamped in Hero Arts sand ink. Super pretty. The little stripe here is actually 2 small ones. So I love that detail. I love that it's not just one skinny stripe and one big stripe. You actually have these 2 thin stripes. So that breaks it up a little bit more, makes it a little bit more interesting, I think. And obviously the creative team loved it because you saw it everywhere, but it works just so well for a background. It's a very versatile cling, right? And I totally agree, Rosie. And I didn't see anybody do this, but I was like, thought for sure someone would do it, is you could stamp it like one like this and then stamp it like this so it's crisscross and you could create plaid with it. Simple. Or like a gingham kind of look with that. Ooh, gingham blue. Oh, I got to do that one. That'd be so pretty. So here's a card I created. Used it as a background. I just stamped it in another Hero Arts core ink. This is Field Green. It's a beautiful kind of sagey green. And then my focal point is just again, some images from the summer State of Mind stamp set, which again is part of the June card kit of the month. So very simple, love it. I just think it's so pretty. Such a pretty stamp set. And I only have a couple samples to show you because you actually have seen it. Isn't it a great green, Becky? It's so good. I have a couple of samples to show you, not a ton. You've already seen most of them already. Well, I mean, you've already seen the stamp many times already, so just have a couple here. Oh my gosh. Hold up though. I just realized I missed a card from Mindy from the previous Stampin' Cut set. We gotta look at that real quick. Look at this card by Mindy. Look at how creative she is. She also did gold heat embossing. Love it. I think she did stamp the base though. And you can see her base is actually ombre. I think you can kind of see it best on the teal and the starfish. She actually has an ombre look. I don't think she used an ombre stamp pad though. She's probably going to do what I'm going to show you guys in this this video or this live. And you can kind of see the same thing over here with her second card on the right. Really, really pretty samples. Okay, so now back to the cling. So here we go. I have this awesome sample here. This one, Jen went all out. She inked up the stripes in different color inks. Wow, that just shows you again how you can stretch that cling. Totally different look. And I could see this before birthday cards used this way, especially with that bright color palette. And I love how she has her enamel dots kind of color coordinated with her colored stripes. So cute. And then we have this stunning one by Charlene. She also inked her stripes up in different colors. Really, really pretty. This screams summer to me. Like, I love this palette. It just makes me want to go get in the pool. And then we have this beautiful one by Jeannie. Really cool. Love how she used it vertical and horizontal, both on one card, even though she didn't stamp one on top of the other. But I still love that you get to see them side by side, and it's just very cool. Very cool look. And actually, that sentiment there is the bonus item of the month, which you will see when we get to at the very end. Okay, pop back over to our comments. It's so good, Becky. I'm glad you guys can see the potential of it. I know sometimes, and I'm including myself in this because this is how I was when I first started stamping, didn't always see the potential in more kind of basic stamp sets. I just wasn't wowed by them, so I didn't really pay much attention to them. And then when you start seeing people use more kind of basic general background stamps, you see that people use them, you're like, oh my gosh, I need that. Like, I could use it so many ways. And I'm glad you guys can kind of see that. Yeah, stripes. The colored stripes, aren't they great? Mindy is the bestest. She really is. She really, truly is. All right. And this next subscription, the layering stencil of the month, you guys are going to love it. It's so pretty. I know this is going to, I don't want to say break hearts, but I know you guys are going to love it. Like, it's just such a pretty set. It is Hydrangea is what it's called. It's a 4-piece layering stencil set, and it creates the most beautiful little grouping of hydrangeas. You can see you'll have actually end up having 3 layers for the flowers and a couple layers for the leaves and stems, or I guess leaves and vines and stems. And this layer here, the fourth one, will also color the centers, the flower centers. So a really very pretty layering stencil set. Here you can see I ink blended it, kept it very simple, just on a white background, some beautiful blues. This is all Hero Arts inks. It's cornflower and indigo for the blues. The center is actually black to kind of incorporate the sentiment. Moss and pine and forever green for the leaves and stems. Really simple, but so pretty. It's just the prettiest hydrangeas. I just think they're gorgeous. Gold embossed stripes would be so good too. Rosie, yes. I did not even think about that. That's a great idea. I'm lost without my mouse here. I have to figure out why my mouse isn't working. Why are you not working? Okay, we're going to start. Speaking of Mindy being the greatest, let's start with Mindy's. Hers is so pretty. She went for blues, but more muted than mine, and I love it. I love the muted blues. They almost have a blueberry feel to me, and I love that. It makes me think of Maine, and I love her bright, pretty greens. Such a pretty card, and the way she trimmed it down so it's kind of framed up. Really gorgeous. And then we have this super fun one by Karen. She always does these bright, beautiful color palettes. I love how she didn't just do the hydrangeas in a blue. She threw in some purple in there for her layers, and it's so pretty. Probably more true to, I'm a desert girl. I'm an Arizona girl, so hydrangeas is not something I get exposed to a lot. And this might be more realistic. I have seen some before, and I know like on the same plant, they can be a little varied in color, and it's just so pretty. This is such a pretty card. I love how she used the rounded rectangles too to frame it up. Up over here real quick. She does make the prettiest cards, Pamela. She's so good. And let's pop back over. Then we have this one by Rachel. She also incorporated more than just like one color family for her hydrangeas. She also went for the kind of blue and purple, but this is more of a gradation. The way that Karen had done it previously was a little bit more selective of where she ink blended her purple. Here, Rachel's just going for kind of a gradation. She started with blue and then blended down to a purple over the stencil. And I love the way that looks. It's so pretty. Also love her bright greens. Really, really pretty happy card. And then we have this one by Sika. So Sika has a beautiful blend. Each one of her hydrangeas, so she was very kind of focused on how she ink blended these, or strategic, that's a better way to say it. Strategic in how she ink blended these hydrangeas. You can see each hydrangea is a gradation. So each hydrangea is a gradation from blue to purple, blue to purple, blue to purple. And so she just had ombres over each flower section. And it is magical seeing it like that. It's so pretty. And I kind of did that, but I only stuck with blue. She went from blue to purple, and it makes it stand out even more. And she did this on colored cardstock, which always is, I think, something we forget we can do with layering stencils, is start with a colored cardstock base, especially if it's a light colored cardstock base. It works really well. Okay, so really pretty stencil set. I love it. Think also, again, there's lots of things you can do with stencils. That's another reason why I love them. I plan on doing for my Stamp and Cut live, that will be coming up later this month, where I create a card with the card kit and another card with a other subscription product. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the layering stencils for that, and I'm going to show you guys how to incorporate some paste with this layering stencil set. And kind of make a fun and kind of unexpected color for those flowers. Okay, and that was actually our last subscription. So we're now on to the bonus item. So the bonus item you saw a couple of times, actually several times, in many of the, even on one of my cards, but a lot over the creative teams projects. The bonus item is kind of a perk, I guess, for whole studio subscribers. So the whole studio subscribers, just in case you're unfamiliar with our program, whole studio subscribers get the card kit. So basically everything you've seen today, the card kit, the, I'm trying to go in the order I did them, the die set of the month, the stamp and cut of the month, the layering stencils and the cling, all of those products. And then they also get this bonus item. And this month's bonus item, it's almost a twofer because it is a Stamp and Cut. It is the Hiya Friend Stamp and Cut. So it's this stamp set here with the coordinating die. You have 3 large kind of focal point sentiments that say summer, friend, and Hiya, and then a bunch of wonderful linear sub-sentiments that can be paired beautifully with these large focal sentiments. It's a really wonderful set. Works great with everything in this release, but also I think this is one that you can use on its own a lot. It's because it can be the focal point of your card. You don't have to, you could just use this and make a card. In fact, I can show you. So here is a card I created. I just created a fun, simple background with some of our Hero Art sprays. I used the blue and the green and the yellow spray on some watercolor paper, trimmed it down, and then popped this sentiment from the Hiya Stamp and Cut on there. Really simple, very fun. And you guys have seen it over this live, over the video. I've showed several samples. I do have a couple more to show. Let's see where it is. And here's Kelly's, really, really pretty. I didn't even think about this, but you can actually put those sub-sentiments in between the letters. I never thought of that, and I love the way that turned out. And again, she also made it the focal point of her card. Really, really cool. Oh, and my kitty's going to be noisy, so I apologize. And then here's my last Creo Team sample. You can see here she stamped it and heat embossed it in white and then paired it with, again, those beautiful hydrangea layering stencils. Okay. And that is it. I'm going to pop back over to the comments. All right. Yeah, I love that. I love that they're cut out, and I love that you have even a sentiment strip that you could use to cut out all the sub-sentiments as well. So really, really great set. Nice bonus item, I think, for this month. Okay, so let's get creative. Let's do a little crafting, huh? I want to use, I know I never should pick favorites, but I really love the Stampin' Cut. So I'm going to use the Seashells Stampin' Cut. I have some white cardstock here. Let's pop them in. Let's see these guys in action. We're going to create some shells. Start with the base. I'm going to do that one to start with. That's scallop. And let's do them in pink. I do want to do, no worries, Pamela. I was glad you could join. I want to do a partial inking technique to create that gradation. I believe this is what Mindy did for hers. So first I'm going to stamp it in a light ink. I'm using Peony. It's very light pink. In fact, you almost can't see it, so I better stamp it again. No worries. I'm glad. Isn't that replay awesome? Drive home safe, Pamela. Have a safe drive home. I'm going to do one more time. Okay. Now I'm going to ink it up with cotton candy, which is a darker pink. It's still pretty light, but it's a darker pink. I'm going to partially ink this up. So I don't, all that means is I'm not inking up the whole image. I'm going to hold my ink pad at an angle. Let's see. So if this is the stamp, I'm going to ink it up. Let's see if I can do that like that. So I'm only touching part of the stamp. And I want the bottom to be inked up. And if I'm worried I have any harsh, by angling it, I should prevent any harsh lines. But if I'm worried about it, I can take a blending brush and just kind of tap where I inked up. And that will remove any harsh lines from the ink pad. And then stamp. You can see that creates a beautiful gradation there. I think I'm going to do it one more time with Peony. There we go. I'm going to call that stamp, that layer done. Now we can do the detail layer. So another nice thing about this two-step stamp set is these detail layer stamps are very easy to line up because we have very simple shapes. Just going to lean over, look from side to side. I think this is the hardest one. I started with the hardest one. Okay, looks good. Okay, we'll pick that up. Now I could stamp this in the cotton candy, but I'm going to go for even darker. I'm going to go for azalea. This one's one of, this is a crowd favorite. I love this color. It's so pretty. Pretty pink. Ooh, but he's a little dry. I need to re-ink him. All my ink pads are got to the point where they pretty much all need to be re-inked. And I'm finding out about it always when I'm doing a live or filming or something. Like, oh. So this will just take me a little bit more time stamping it because it does need to be re-inked a little bit. I'm going to stamp it one time in cotton candy. Oh yeah, that looks great. There we go. There's a nice little gradation. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Super pretty. All right, let's move on to another shell. Let's do our starfish. He might actually be the only one he might be the hard one to line up. Actually, I take that back. The best trick I have for lining this starfish up is so he's lined up right now to the acetate. So is the second layer. So is the detail layer. It is so thirsty, right? The best way to make this as easy as possible, because stars can be a little tricky. Even I don't know why that is. I guess circles could be that way too, but there's just too many. It's hard to know if it's this leg or that one. You know, it's just hard to know which one is which. So just be very mindful when you take your base stamp off of your acetate that you keep it in the same orientation it was when it was on the acetate. So just like that. And now I'll know that when I line this up, it's lined up for that. It's all lined up. That's the best way. So don't turn it. You know, once you take it off of the acetate, keep it in that orientation. Don't turn it or anything, and then go straight to your paper. And that'll just save you a little bit of headache when you try to line up the second layer. All right, we're going to go with papaya. Ooh, that one's pretty good. Stamp that a couple times. Okay, and then we're going to do the ombre or partial inking. I'm going to, this is pumpkin, so it's a bit a fair amount darker. So I did take my blending tool and kind of press over. Oh, but I guess it doesn't need it. Try again. Oh yeah, that's better. I think I don't need my blending brushes at all. Go even a tiny bit darker. Oh yeah, look at that ombre. It looks so good. Again, just that partial inking. Just make sure you angle your ink pad. If you are worried, you can use your blending brush. Okay, so put this guy back. Is he right? Nope. Let's try again. There you go. Okay, so now when I pull the second layer off, the detail layer off, I'm gonna again keep that orientation. And now we know it's correctly lined up. Very, very easy. This is going to be stamped a couple of times in the pumpkin. So we're not using a third ink. But I will have to stamp it like 4 times to build up that contrast, make it darker. So you actually see the details, especially over those areas where I did that partial inking with the pumpkin. No worries. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. We're stamping with the June Stamp and Cut of the Month. It's an awesome 2-step stamp set. Creates these super pretty seashells, and we're doing a very fun and easy technique of partial inking to create these gradations over our shells. So next, let's do this guy up here. He might be my favorite. Until I did him before. I'm going to start for the base. Let's move some of these ink pads out of the way. I don't think we need any more brushes. Start with dandelion for the base for our first color. There you go. I think one stamp did it. Then we'll grab spicy mustard. Partially ink this guy up. Oh yeah, Oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'm gonna do it one more time, I think. Oh yeah, look at that. It looks so good. Oh my gosh, I love it. Now I'll grab the detail layer. Line that guy up. Okay, that looks good to me. Pick them up. And this time we're going to ink the whole thing up in spicy mustard again. And again, because I did, this is the same color that I used before. To get that contrast, I will be stamping it, inking this and stamping this several times, just to really build up that color, make it darker and bolder. Something's in there, I think a little piece of tape. And guys, we're going to use a little bit of, actually, we're going to use a lot of it, of that sand embossing powder. So you get to see that sand embossing powder in this live as well. I'm going to do that after I stamp these shells. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This one turned out so good. Look at that. It's so pretty, you guys. I love this set. So fun. Okay, now moving on to this one here. This is the shell that if I'm lucky enough to find it at the beach, I'm so excited. I think these ones are the prettiest. We're going to ink him up and stamp him in Paradise. Oh yeah. Gonna do it one more time. There we go. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love that color. Now we're gonna grab our detail layer. We're actually gonna stamp 5, so we're on almost done after this. Got one more shell to stamp, but there are a couple shells that we won't even stamp. 2 shells that we don't even stamp. So there's 7 shells in that set. So a lot of variety. Let's move this down a bit. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's pick that up. Hey, Michelle. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh, I'm glad you're watching. You're able to join us. We have shared a lot of Michelle's cards. Michelle created some beautiful cards. She was the one that had that genius idea of creating her own striped paper, basically, with colored cardstocks in that palette. That's the kind of the paper palette that's included with the card kit. She had the really genius idea of also using that to die cut the camera out of. I loved that. I thought that was so genius. And it made for like the prettiest, happiest little striped Polaroid camera ever. Oh, and I'm stamping this in Bermuda. I didn't point that out. So a darker teal. Oh, I forgot to do the ombre. Do I do it again? I forgot to ink it up in the base in the second color. Let's do it again. Shame. Got distracted. Let's try again. Okay, let's try this again. Start with Paradise. Oh, it's so much fun. Yes, I love stamping. Especially when you get to do like some really fun little techniques like this ombre inking. So fun. Just wait till you see the ombre ink pads. That's cool. Okay, we're gonna take this Bermuda, ink this up a little. Not much to ink up on this smaller stamp, but we're still gonna do it. There we go. Look at that beautiful gradation. I might do it one more time. You know, I'm worried I got that too inky. Let's try again. Is Bermuda your favorite, Rosie? It's such a pretty color. There we go. Oh, yeah. Not reading up on camera, but I can definitely see it more in person. All right, now we'll do that detail layer. This ombre inking or partial inking is a bit of an extra step, but I think it's so worth it because it adds a lot more depth to your image. I think I got that in the right spot. Okay, now will you stamp this? Oh, I get it. No, I totally understand. Now, what about, I feel like, Rosie, it's pretty close to blue raspberry. How do you feel? What are your feelings on blue raspberry? I love blue raspberry. Though I do, I think I have to pick blue raspberry over the Bermuda, but only because it's a reactive ink and I can do more stuff to it. With it, I should say. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful from Michelle. I agree. It's a really dark teal, especially when you stamp it 600 times like I'm doing. I want to make sure I get that contrast. Here, hold it to the camera so you can see. Look, it's so pretty. All right, final card. And you're loving Rosie and Michelle. These two wonderful ladies were very, very kind and were incredible during the live. They created 2 amazing cards. Well, they each created a card, and Karen joined us too. That live, you can find that over on our Hero Arts Facebook group, which is called, oh my gosh, my brain. It's gone. We have kind of like a Hero Arts fan Facebook group, or it's like a group just for you guys. My brain is not working. Somebody help me. What's it called? But definitely check that out. I know Rosie will be able to help me, or Michelle will be able to help me. The name of the group. It's lost my brain. But we did a fun live with them, and they created with the Case Close collection that just came out, I think last week. Why is it not? Is it Connection? My brain is not working. Now I'm going to go look it up because it's going to drive me nuts. Let's see. Collective. There you go. Hero Arts Collective. I'll put the link here in the YouTube comments here. There you go. So if you guys are not members of that group, definitely go check that out. And then you can see the live with Rosie and Michelle, who are here. From our creative team, they made some incredible cards. And they did it live, which is always amazing. All right, so this last shell, I'm going to use kind of blues. I'm going to start with Dusty Blue here for our base. Collective. Oh, there we go. Shared it in the Facebook group too. That's awesome. So now that I've stamped this a couple of times, and we have a nice solid base, we're going to do our partial inking again with Stone Wash. Oh yeah. Look at that. I think I'll do it one more time in Dusty Blue. Perfect. And then we'll stamp our detail layer in. It is hard sometimes to talk while you're crafting. Definitely. Sometimes I can only do one thing. One thing at a time. All right, line up that base layer. And we're going to stamp this again in, there it is, that stone wash. We're really kind of stretching our stamp pads here a little bit. I'm using just 2 inks for most of the shells. So only one shell to be used 3 inks, and that was the pink shell. Oh, thanks, Rosie. Yeah, a lot of people do it, and way better than me. Way better than me. And in fact, even during that live, I did very little crafting. I did a lot more talking. Okay, okay. I think we've done. All right, there's our shells all stamped out. Look at how pretty they look. Oh my gosh, I love them. I love the detail layer. And then that little ombre is just like on this shell. So good, so good. Love it. Okay, let's die cut these out. So we're gonna use the coordinating dies that come with this stamp set. Love that. You know what? While we have our Misty here, before we cut them out. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. That's so kind. I'm going to stamp our sentiment. We have everything out. Let's get that done too. I'm going to stamp him just in black. Keep it simple. Use Hero Arts Intensified Black. This is a really great black ink. I mention it all the time because I love it, because you can use it for so many things. It stamps really nice dark black, but it's also waterproof, and I'm like instantly waterproof pretty much. I almost always stamp something and then it goes straight to watercoloring. So that's pretty cool. And it's also alcohol marker friendly too. So a really versatile ink. Though if you do use it with your alcohol markers, you do want to make sure it's completely dry. So I recommend heat setting it real quick before you color on it with your Copic markers. Look at that. So good. All right. We can put that away now. So I'm glad we got that stamping done, because we're done stamping and we can die cut this out. So where did I put those coordinating dies? Here they are. And let's grab some tape. See, did you see Michelle's comment? She said, at least you didn't fling your stamps across your craft room. See, if you want to know what Michelle's talking about, if you want to really understand, got to catch that. You got to go watch the replay. And it has you have to stay all the way to the end to really figure out, to really get the whole story. There you go. Let's grab some more tape. Oh my goodness. All right. We gotta slow down here, Shannon. This is where you want to take a little more time and care. We want that to cut out nice. Let's try to do it on camera. Isn't it, Rosie? I love the font on this set. I love how it's like handwriting, but way nicer than mine. And I don't have to worry about making a mistake or spelling something wrong. Ooh, I'm proud of that. I only got that almost on the first try. Okay. Chugging along. Grabbing all my old strips here. Because we use a piece of tape till it don't be tape anymore. Till it don't work no more. All right. Yeah, I wish my handwriting looked like it too. I remember when I was in school, having nice handwriting, like as a girl, like it was part of, it felt like if you had bad handwriting, you were somewhat less beautiful. I don't know why that was, but it was very much like, I need to have nice handwriting. But I just never mastered it. Never. And some girls had the prettiest handwriting and they would go through such great lengths, like having something, some signature thing they did, like something that they did cool with the eyes, like hearts or something. I never did that. All right, we're gonna cut this out. You lined up good there? No, let's fix you. Almost had a disaster. Okay, I'm gonna die cut on camera. Hold that over here, but I gotta move stuff out of the way. Yeah, I think you're right, Michelle. Most people don't even like their own handwriting. I wonder why that is. I did too, Rosie. I practiced different styles. Don't judge my dirty die cutting machine too harshly. You can see where all my tape came from. Okay. Still look like you shifted on me. How rude. Well, that's fine. Well, I will accept you even if you're a little off. Not too bad. Yep, that's what I feel like. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. If I just need to be able to read it. And I realized that I've become so bad and so, my handwriting is for me. Nobody needs to read it because nobody does. It's like for my lists or my notes or whatever. But every once in a while, I'll have my daughters have to read something I wrote and they cannot. They just cannot. I'm like, oh, huh. Maybe I need to be more mindful about how I'm writing again. Okay. Oh, thanks, Joan. It's high praise from you, friend. Okay, there we go. Okay, everything is cut out. Look at how pretty they look. Oh my gosh, I just love this set. And I think I went with bright, but I think these shells would be so pretty in a more muted palette. Oh, in fact, I want to do that so bad. Like some of I have to pull it on screen. Like some of that soft blossom, soft olive, even pink grapefruit, some of these more muted, not so bright tones. Oh. Well, Michelle says, for you, those of you who are on YouTube, you can't see her comment, but she says, can I share it? I wonder if I can share it. She says that her sister and and her are teachers, and her brother's a doctor, and guess who has the illegible writing? My guess is your brother, but maybe I'm wrong. But Rosie and I was a teacher, and now my handwriting is bad. Maybe not bad. Maybe I'm being overly critical. Okay, so I promised sand. We are going to do it. I need my little coffee filter. There we go. I was right. Okay. Phew. I thought so, but I wasn't sure if there's like a twist. Okay, so I have some Fawn cardstocks. Again, this is actually one of the cardstocks that's included in the card kit. The sand embossing powder, this is also included in the card kit. I've trimmed the panel down. I'm going to put a little anti-static powder, though I'm not super worried about it, but I'm going to put a little bit down. Kind of on the lower half, just in case my fingers are inky or greasy, most likely that. Then I'm going to take an embossing, Hero Arts embossing and watermark ink pad, and clear, of course. And I'm just going to press over this panel. I want kind of a raw edge at the bottom. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Pick this up. Let's pour over that beautiful sand embossing powder. It's so good. And I've used it a ton, so. Got a little bit more here on the top. Oh my gosh, it's gonna look so good. I have a little bit down here at the bottom I want to get off because it did stick to my fingers as predicted. My handwriting says I should have been a doctor. That's hilarious. If only that was the, well, maybe I wouldn't. I was going to say, if only that was the requirements, but we as patients don't want that to be the only requirements. All right, let's heat set this. All right, there it is. Isn't it so cool? It's the best. It is the best. Okay. Let that dry a little bit, or cool off rather. It's dry, Shannon. It's hot. That's the problem. Okay, there we go. So pretty. Let's put this onto our card base. Tape runner. And I'm going to put a lot down just because when you heat emboss things, they can get a little bit warped. There we go. And what I'll do also is just place a weight on it and let that sit for a minute while we add foam adhesive to the backside of our, and actually we can kind of arrange them. Nice thing about this being clear. Kind of arrange them on here. Oops. Something like that. You can see this is the time arranging things takes every brain cell I possibly have. I can't spare a single one to talk. The few that I have, I need to use every one to arrange something. I think we're there. We're there. We're there. Oh, let's go this way. That seems better. Okay. Yes. I'm happy with that. Okay, now I'm going to pick this up with some press and seal. I need to get up and get it. It's just out of reach. Hold all those in place. Thank you. They're so fun and easy to make. And if you missed the beginning part of the live, definitely check out some of the really creative ways the creative team approached this set. They were geniuses how they used it. Okay, we're gonna use some foam strips here to hold everything in place and also to pop them up. There we go. And I think I'll do just a little bit on that one because he's sticking out so much. A little extra for him. Okay, let's remove this. Remove the backing on the foam adhesive. Come on, you get off. There we go. Ugh. Last one. Look at them, so fun. And then we'll finish with our sentiment. He also is going to get popped up. There we go. Remove the backing. Grab it with my tweezers. Okay. course it's not straight. Let's try that again. Gotta do it standing up. That's the rule. Why do I think I can break the rule? There we go. All right, it's all done. Woohoo! So fun. Love those. Love that June Stampin' Cut. Again, this is all from the June Hero Studio release. This is the June Hero Studio Stampin' Cut. And it's a really great set. Okay, that is everything. So thank you guys. I'm gonna pop over to my forward camera. There we go. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today and checking out all of these amazing new products that are part, again, of the June Hero Studio release. Be sure to check out the blog hop that's happening today. That has even more inspiration than what I shared in this live. Plus, there's the giveaway. And if you leave a comment at each stop along the hop, you get an additional entry into the giveaway, which is a gift certificate to Hero Arts. And there's one more thing I wanted to say. We are doing as far as promotions right now, other things that are going on over at Hero Arts, we are doing a mystery box. Actually, I have a graphic for that. I can put that up too. Where are you? Sorry, my big face is in the screen. There it is. We have a mystery box right now going on. It's over $170 worth of products. Mystery products gathered up together for $50. This is only while supplies last. You can check that out. I can share the link. Let me go to my notes real quick where I have it. So that's always a cool thing to check out. This is like the first time we've done it. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of like a sucker for mystery boxes. So I had to share because it's very cool. There we go. Oh, Gretchen. Gretchen's here. She's Hero Arts OG over there. That Gretchen Junker. She's awesome. Yeah, so check that out as well. And especially if you are, it's a great, oops, there you go. It's a really good bargain. And you get a lot of product, a lot of Hero Arts products. So very, very cool. And I think that's it. So yeah, the last thing, one more reminder, go to the blog hop. You can start it at heroarts.com. I have a link in the description, so you can use that link to go there and start the blog hop. And be sure, if you do see anything you love along the way, definitely encourage you to use those Creative Team affiliate links, because I'm so grateful for them for letting me share their cards with you all. And if they've inspired you, I encourage you to give them a little love and use those affiliate links. They're much appreciated by them. All right, everybody. I will see you. The next live I will do will be for our June Stampin' Craft. So check that out. I don't have it up yet because it's not till towards the end of the month, but we'll be creating with the June card kit, which you saw in this live, and most likely the layering stencils of the month. So be sure to check that out and hit the little notification when I get that video up so you can join the live with me. It's basically like a whole free class. We put instructions up before the live so you can gather your supplies and actually create along with me during the live if you happen to get your kit and layering stencils in time. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to see if there's any questions. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you at the Stampin' Craft. Bye, everyone.